What you doing? What are you doing? Did you play? Okay, you're gonna eat next. Apple. Hi. Good morning. Oh, look, it's London. Good morning. Hi. Okay, welcome back to my channel. Oh, this has been an amazing week. So last week was a crappy week. This week was amazing. We had an amazing lesson yesterday. He made it through. We did a 2-stride grid, so three jumps, 2 strides in between each of them, and he was so great. And you know what the difference was? I wasn't holding on to him like a dumb monkey. So I've been riding him close to, if not on the buckle, for a week now. Like literally on the buckle. Before, when I was like, oh, I'm riding on the buckle, there were times where I would take up rein and try to correct him, quote unquote correct him. But this week I literally just rode on the buckle. And over the fences I did take up a little bit of rein just because I don't like my reins flapping around, but only like right before we got to a fence I would take up just a little bit of rein. But he was just so good, and he's so relaxed and like just so chill now. So I fed everybody, and he is out right now having some hay with his friends. And I don't know why, but my arm is dying, so I'm gonna have to move this to the other arm. Hello. Okay, so I will insert, I have a couple pictures and one video that I got my Pivo. So I forgot to bring my one phone that I use strictly for Pivo to the arena yesterday, and I didn't want to go back to the barn and get it because walking 2 minutes back to the barn from the arena and 2 minutes back was just too much for me. So I used my regular phone that I used for everything, and I didn't have the Pivo settings correct at all, and it was really struggling. And then I realized that like almost 3/4 into the lesson that's what was wrong with it and why it wasn't tracking very well. And I set it correctly, and then it worked a lot better. So I got one of me going through the grid, and then a couple of the pictures of us on the flat where he looks like amazing at the trot anyways. And he really reached for that 2-stride. Like I put leg on and really asked for him to reach for it, and he really did. And it was just so, it was such a great feeling for him to actually be able to do that and to ride that correctly through the grid. So we're gonna work on that grid again today. I want to maybe get a little bit better myself about going over it, but I'm gonna try to get him through it today and make sure that he is getting those 2 strides both ways, and we'll see how he does. And I think that's really just the goal for today, is to keep him relaxed under saddle on the flat, and then to work over the fences and keep him at the same relaxation level. I'm gonna go set up my tripod and then go grab Happy and start getting ready. So yeah, see you in the voiceover. A few weeks ago, when I started using the Thoroughbred saddle, Happy was in a narrow wide gullet, and I think had to switch it out this week to a wide gullet. It's only been like 3 weeks, so just proves how much muscle your horse can put on when their saddle fits properly. Another new thing that I'm doing is we start on the buckle and we do most of our ride on the buckle, but I'm also letting him ride for sometimes up to like 10 minutes just wandering around the arena.
And I like to see where he goes and what he looks at and where he stops, and I feel like it's given him a little bit more confidence and freedom around moving around. Like, he's actually taking me all the way into the corners, which before he would try to avoid the corners of the arena. So this has been really interesting for me anyways, to let him explore and look around and just kind of be relaxed. What a dork. Oh my gosh. What's interesting is riding on the buckle has kind of stopped him from doing that spooking that he was doing all the time. So we still get a look, and later in this ride you will see him kind of shy away from those strawberries or whatever is over there. But it doesn't, me holding onto him doesn't play into his spook, and so I think he kind of just lets it go a lot faster than if I had held onto him and was like really pushing him past it. Something that we've noticed is when we ask him for more forward and to go straight, he gapes his mouth and chews a lot on the bit, and not like lick and chew, but chomps on it. We're thinking this is some leftover anxiety from possibly pain that he thinks he's going to feel if he goes faster. So that's something that we're currently working through and trying to get him to a point where he realizes forward isn't going to be painful. Same thing here. We think that some of his issues with canter transitions are actually just not enough forward. So we have been playing a little bit this past week after this ride with really pushing him to just go faster and faster in a walk or a trot to get to the next gate, and that actually has kind of cleared up a lot of the arguments that I feel like he throws when I do ask him for that canter transition. I can't be sure, but part of me feels like that spook came from me pulling on his face when we were along the rail, and kind of started a little bit of anxiety for him, because you see here now too, he was gaping just a little bit after that impromptu jump. I literally almost dropped my dressage whip, and I really did not want to have to stop and get off and get it, so I was trying to grab it with my knee and my hand, and Happy was just a good boy to keep on cantering there. I feel like at the beginning of this ride, he definitely started out pretty stiff behind, but now he's starting to look a lot more loose through his back and his hind end and not so stabby with those back legs. So again, just I think PSSM and cold weather, just not great blends. Happy is incredibly sensitive to any movement in the seat of the saddle, so I've been having to not actually look that far ahead to the jumps and only look like right at the last minute, otherwise we're turning immediately. There, I tried to push for that extra stride, but we just didn't get it, and then of course we break into the pace, which he really needs to learn to not go into the pace when he misses a stride and to go trot or canter, but he missed it, and then we came back around, and I thought, okay, this time I really need to make sure I add leg in the beginning and then also on that second element. So I added more leg here, and then he really reached for it. So he did a really good job through that one. This is a really good example of when he does start to throw his shoulder for the anticipation of forward. So that's why I just was like, all right, if you're gonna throw your shoulder because you know we're cantering and jumping to the left now, let's just do this circle and kind of break up that behavior. And now you can see he's really straight and he's going and listening to me, and that's kind of where we're at now. If I feel him blocking that shoulder, then we just kind of circle, or I try to just kind of get him straight and break up that behavior, and then we go. On Saturdays we work on my form and his form in our lessons, but when I do this I would like him to be correct, but through that skinny he was a little bit, I think, a little deep to it and kind of just deer hopped it, and then of course that set us up pretty bad for that bending line. But I'm okay with that because I think I want to have our Sundays that we work on our lesson stuff, but we also just kind of have fun. And both he and I like to jump, and these jumps are set low enough that I feel like it's not going to hurt anything if we're just going to go over them and with the intent of having a good time. And now we're done, and we're gonna cool out and relax and kind of get him mentally back down, and me, relax and cool out. I wanted to plug a podcast I listen to. So I normally listen to the Journey On podcast with Warwick Schiller, but this last week I listened to the episode of Nashon Cook, and the amount of profound things that man had to say was just amazing. I've listened to that podcast now twice, and I plan on listening to it a third time this weekend when I go to have my lesson. I cannot recommend listening to it enough. It's just really changed my perspective on writing and on my relationship with Happy, and it's left me feeling the past 2 rides after I've listened to it and had those ideas in mind, feeling like I've left a yoga class where I feel like relaxed and really connected and like grounded, and I just cannot recommend it enough. Like, please go listen to that podcast. It was so good. Alright, we had a really great ride. I really don't have any complaints. I can't even think of anything really that he did that was really that bad. He did get a little bit spooky, but I think he was just slightly fresh. And we worked that out pretty quickly. But he was really good. We went through the grid several times both ways. The only time to the right that that was the only way that he had a little bit of an issue getting the striding. He would like get it right, except for like the last jump, he would get to it and still have about a quarter stride, it felt like. I tried to wait until he did this, but of course now he has to poop when I'm videoing horses. Okay, so we just pushed. I tried to push really hard with my leg. I feel like I probably look like a potato trying to push him, but we got it to the right, and then to the left, he was like amazing. Like, he's like, oh, I remember this. I know how to do this. And because he did it really well yesterday. And so we're having a panic attack over the sign. You know you had a panic attack last time. Oh my god, he can't even look at it. He looked at it and he was like, oh no, can't look at it. Happer. Oh, scary, so scary. So to the left, he was fine. He like blasted through it. I'm sure I'm gonna watch the video and I'm gonna be like, oh my god, he's like flying through that thing. But then we did the skinny a couple times, which was so fun. I love doing the skinny because it's like neither of us, I feel like, are confident that we're gonna fit through it until we get to it, and then we're like, oh my god, we did it. So we did that a few times, and then we just cooled out because he was still like a little mentally hot from doing the jumping to the left because he got a little excited and jazzed. So we just did some stretchy trot, which is how we do everything at a stretch. And now we're gonna cool out. So yeah, good ride today. Okay, let's get this walk on the road here. Cool our muscles down after we do our jumping school. Cool out walk, walking on the road. I need to remember to push my feet forward because they like to go back in this saddle. It's turning out to be a very nice day today. I was going to put him in as heavyweight, but I actually think the midweight might be a better option because I think he's actually sweaty. Hopefully we don't spook at anything. Oh my God, Lord knows it's the scariest endeavor. You never know what's going to come out of the bushes. Oh, what was that? He doesn't know. All right. What are you staring at? Oh boy, there's towels or blankets or something on this fence here. That could be scary. I think it's a tarp. Oh boy, this could be scary. What is that, Happer? You can do it. I believe in you. I believe in you. Oh,
You just saw it, huh? Oh, boys. You say, oh, boys. No, sir. No, sir. Good boy. I think you can walk past it. You say, no, not today. Okay, not today. My goodness. Go this way. Oh, my God. Happy. Oh, my goodness. There's someone in the round pen. Are you going to be able to handle that?